First rates are on your screen. We start at about 22,460, 450. You got the Sensex, which is starting at about 73,870 right now. So it's a little lower, but it's well behaved. 25 lower on the Nifty and about 85 lower on the Sensex is what you have. The mid-cap index is down about 0.25%, and the small-cap index is starting about, I think in the round about 0.25% lower as well. On that particular index as well. But it's all about specific stocks, and it's been a very, very vibrant market with, of course, a lot of earnings reactions and otherwise as well. Lots of moves. Sonia has got stocks as always. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. As you rightly pointed out, there's really nothing much happening with the headline index, right? So let's take it to individual stocks now. BEL is really the stock of the moment, 6% higher. Remember, BEL has had a very strong run in the last many days and good numbers coming through. Revenue growth of 32%, EBITDA has risen 25%. And I think what the street really likes is the fact that the company has raised its guidance, beaten its order inflow guidance for the full year FY24. So 7% higher now on BEL. SAIL is the other one that I'm looking at. The adjusted EBITDA was better than estimated, but the volumes were down about 3% year on year. So the stock is down about 1% as we speak. City Union Bank is the other one to look at, 2% lower. The operating profit has declined. That's why the stock is under pressure, but the asset quality has improved and the NII is up about 6% year on year. Biocon has also been in focus. It's up almost about 1% right now. There's positive news flow there. Ujjivan Small Finance, the merger has aided the top line, but the asset quality has deteriorated. So I think the street likes the fact that post the merger, the top line growth has been solid, up about 2.5%. Kalpataru Projects has won a contract value of 3 Aramco orders, which is at about 7,550 crores. Huge contract coming in there, and the stock is up almost about 8.5% right now. Data Patterns also in focus this morning as the revenues of the company have slipped 2%, but the margins have risen sharply, and that's something that the street likes, 1.5% higher on Data Patterns. IRFC had a pretty strong P&L. The NII was up about 35%. The stock in general has been a good mover lately and now up almost about 3.5%. And Balkrishna Industries generally tends to get very volatile. In the conference call this time, the company said they didn't choose to give any guidance. They said that the geopolitical environment is a bit tough, so no guidance given. But the stock is surging now. Remember, the numbers for Balkrishna Industries were very good. No problems at all. Strong growth on the top line. Margins have improved. And the management, although not giving any guidance, but overall mood was quite positive on the numbers. So that's Balkrishna Industries up 7%, big mover there. But overall for the market, very quiet. I think it's not a bad thing, considering we had a good move last week. We're just holding on to the 22,400 mark. Back to you.
All right, Sonia, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's focus on a couple of big movers from the broader markets. IEX, we were telling you earlier today that, in fact, technically things were shaping up well. Vivek as well told us that, a couple of brokerage upgrades out there. So the stock continues to pile on to the gains. 2 sessions, the stock is, up more than 7-8% odd. So big move is what we're seeing on that one on big volumes. Whirlpool, the gross margins expanded by around 400 basis points odd. There was some part of that came down to the EBITDA margins as well. So we did see that the margins came in at 8.3%, which is the highest we have seen in 8 quarters. And that's why some brokerages are a little bit positive. So that one as well up close to around 2%. Shankara Building Products, well, that stock as well, you did see the revenues that came up by 14%. The margins as well were holding steady, but in absolute terms, the EBITDA number was up close to 30%. You have a demerger as well that's already been announced a few quarters ago. So the street is coming to terms with that. Windlass Biotech, the revenues out there were much better. 170 crores, that compares with around 140 crores. And the EBITDA number as well improved to around 13%. So that as well from the broader markets. Ekta had sent this review out. It's up close to around 13% as we speak, 10% as we speak. Margins are around 13%. BEL, that's one of the biggest volume movers. So quite a few stocks in the broader markets moving on rather good volumes. On the flip side, you have Trident, that's down close to around 6.5%. So some selling being seen out there. And, EIL, that stock as well is down close to around 2%. Keep in mind, some of these stocks have already seen a big rally, so they're giving back some part of the weight that they put on. Prashant.
Okay, well, that's the market open for you. We're down about, 50 points, 22,458 at this point in time. And it's a softish kind of start. Last few days, of course, the market has bounced. So maybe seeing a little bit of rebound, sort of move on the other side. PSUs, of course, IRFC, BDL, RVNL, this entire list continues to do very well. Look at the pigment makers, Sudarshan Chemicals, 12% higher. I think the stock's gone back to its previous highs. Keynes is another one. they're guiding for 60% growth, 100% increase, 100 basis point increase in margins, 11% move on gains after, of course, a fantastic week, which was the last one. Shakti Pumps, of course, stocks now all closer to $3,000. What a move it's seen, Shakti Pumps. Although I must say, market breadth is negative, clear, out and out. Aptus has seen a large block, a very large block actually. Volumes are humongous, 5.5% lower on Aptus. And CG Power, I think, has also seen a block with the stocks down about 2.5%, 646 or so. CG Power, of course, also has seen a tremendous move. Delivery, numbers disappointed, 7% cut. Delivery, of course, is a kind of a play on e-com. And what else? Parag Milk down 10. Medanta, there was a bit of a disappointment. The hospital company, 4% lower on Medanta as well. So that's the market, the long and short of it, the up and down. And we'll come back to some of these individual names in a bit. But